Now, his pro-white is being taken as racist. Now, by default, if you're a white supremacist group and you have political influence or voting power, he is going to look at the voting currency that you have and the fact that he is pro-white. It doesn't mean that he agrees with everything they do, but his objective is to get into office and eventually do what's best for everybody, whether you agree with it or not. Because at the top of him being pro-white, he is pro-American. So just like anybody else, and I explained this to white dudes. I actually explained this to white dudes and a black dude all in one conversation. I said, like any candidate, America is made up of a diverse, demographic. So you have to cater to all those demographics to collectively draw in votes for a total count. So, y'all are beating a dead horse with this racism shit. Like racism been in this country. Has it dwindled, over recent decades? Yeah, it's not as prevalent as it used to be, but it's still here. Um, but y'all lose sight of the fact that everybody has to draw in a collective vote. Okay, so that's pretty much it on that. I'm pretty much over the racism accusations because I knew that he was pro-white versus being racist. That's the difference, but he's pro-American. And I've been telling everybody for a long time, as long as you remain American, you will be fine because he's going to do what's best for America overall. Now, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are just as racist as the accusations you make against Trump. And then, not only that, they have targeted black men their whole career. They have made a mockery of black men. The whole Democratic Party has made a mockery of black men. Whether you got the rainbow group, the alphabet group, the racists within the Democratic Party, and then you got the feminists within the Democratic Party. And then your own black woman, has been trying to steal power and then turn around and accuse the black man of oppression just as much as the white woman has accused the white man of oppression. So for me, like I said, it's a no-brainer, man. It's hard to really get people to stop looking at what we call mainstream media. Mainstream media cuts and edits. They never give you the whole story or the real facts. They're paid. They're bought and paid. So they're going to cater to who fills their pockets, right? And who they want to win. Mainstream media is part of a group. Now, let's get back to the Republican Party, right? Right now, you have a Trump administration within the Republican Party, and then you have the traditional or orthodox Republican Party. So the Republican Party is broken down into that currently right now, as far as what's at the top of it. Okay? Now, in the Democratic Party, you got socialists, traditional Democrats, racists, alphabet people, feminists, of course, liberals. And then, you have the traitorous black woman. So, I mean, and look at the trouble that the Democratic Party had to go through to keep pushing a candidate forward these last two elections. Like, they have so much in-house bickering and fighting, and so many different nominees that they can't really understand that, hey, look, you're spreading yourself too thin to even win anything. I mean, I just be looking at stuff. I try to explain it to people that I come in contact with, man. But a lot of people's intelligence, man, is very challenged these days, man. They still go by the old way of thinking and the old way of looking at things. Like, man, when you have the internet, even before you had the internet, you had what you would call investigative reporters. Some of the best That was the original content creators, by the way. Let me put that out there. Like before the internet, before YouTube, social media, you had what you called investigative reporters, and I was hip to investigative reporters back. I said about around 2005, 2006. That's when I got away from mainstream media uh, and learned how to search for that type of content back then. So I've been prepped for content the old school way. That's why when I get in here on the internet and stuff like that, probably not the most techie type person, but as far as the information goes, uh, I can definitely process it. I can definitely give it. I can definitely foresee some stuff, because I had the old school prepping for content. A lot of people don't know that, but that's something you should look up. Look up the topic of investigative reporting, and that'll get you where you need to be at. Definitely get you where you need to be at. When you delve into that realm. So, black men, uh, you heard how I broke down the Democratic Party, uh, and that's just the fabric of America. Just about. I mean, you do have other groups here and there, but like I said, I dealt with the ones at the top of each, and that's the best thing that you need to look at right now. Who's at the top of each group? Because that's gonna have the hand in policy based on whoever wins. So, black men, the Democratic Party has so many different things against you, and believe it or not, the Me Too movement was liberal and democratic and feminist. Uh, believe all women, democratic, feminist, and liberal. Um, now you got protect black women, and black women can be whores, thoughts. They can run from dude to dude, and then as soon as something happens, they want to call us uh, in a broad manner to protect them. But yet they scream independence, or yet they scream they can do what they want to do, uh, and they have sexual freedom. See, some of these discussions, man, like I said, everything's a no-brainer, man. Like, why? Sometimes I just be looking like, why is it even a discourse back and forth about this stupid shit? Like, bitch, you a thought. You're a thought. You go from nigga to nigga every month. You know what I'm saying? You're not stable, so you create unstable situations, and you're abusive and aggressive, verbally as well as physically, and you contribute to these incidents or altercations you have with a man, and then you act like, oh, well, because something happened to me at the very end of it, it's all his fault. No, bitch, you contributed to that shit. And then you want to call on all the black supermen in the world to protect you. See, it's so much going on with that Democratic Party that's attached to it that's going to overthrow your authority. See, black men, you have to have authority as a man. You have to have authority. The Republican Party, man, is the only hope for patriarchy. Conservatism is a precursor or an element or related to patriarchy. For a man to lead his household, he has to be patriarchal. Okay? Now, not only that, the Republican Party is doing good numbers, and the numbers can only get better when you keep the same party intact from the previous 4 years to the next 4 years. I mean, that's simple math. 1 plus 1 equals 2. I don't know what's wrong with you cats, man. But hey, now, don't be fooled by this COVID shit, because they're trying to act like how Donald Trump handled COVID, or they're trying to project that he failed when in all actuality he didn't. Like, he did more than enough. Had they had their way, everybody would have COVID at one time or another, and the death toll would have been greater. Um, You know, you had so many celebrities and Democrats, you know, invested in the World Health Organization. I'm talking about literally they had money invested in it. And, you know, you don't get the story about how Donald Trump banned the World Health Organization from having knowledge of COVID before he did, and knowing it was in a created a lab over in China and it got loose. And it was a patent on it already. So y'all don't get the real fucking story. See, this is what investigative reporting does for a brother like me, you know, because I do this shit even uh, non-electrical, basically, like off the internet, pretty much. See, I still have that instinct and that sense and that skill to do that type of reporting, investigative reporting, you know. And it's not me actually doing investigative reporting. I'm going to go, I know how to go find the investigative reporters, you know. So that's, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, you know, when it goes from all the way to Obama, to the Clintons, to celebrities, you know, Bill Gates, all these motherfuckers knew about COVID before the shit came out, and they all were attached to it money wise, economically, and there was a patent on that shit. See, the real truth is not being told. You know, it's not really being told. You know, it's a lot of motherfuckers that got arrested. It's a lot of motherfuckers that's on ankle bracelets. Yeah. Well, you hear the presidential debate, right? And Biden is trying to say, as well as Kamala, uh, for the vice presidential debate, that y'all didn't tell this and y'all didn't tell that. Well, y'all don't want to tell how Trump got together with all these American generals and started rounding people up and locking people up once he got wind of COVID, and once he found out the people that he was locking up knew about COVID, knew about a patent on COVID before he did as a president of the United States. Again, investigative reporters, you know, Intel, CIA, you know, leading generals snuffed out COVID and relayed it to Donald Trump as fast as they could get it to him. You know, and then he shut the country down. Now here's another thing too. Like, I did a video about people not wanting to go back to work. Do you know how many jobs is out here right now begging people to come work, and nobody wants to work, and everybody's talking about unemployment numbers have risen? The unemployment numbers or the unemployment filings is going up because the true American people are coming out. Laziness. I don't care what color you are. You lazy as fuck. It's jobs every fucking where. I'm working 6, 7 days a week. I literally got companies bombarding my resume. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I got a regular job. I got contract work that I do a couple times a week. And then, you know, I side hustle. And I just spend all my time working out, working, and, you know, just taking care of business. Now, will I open up to a better opportunity if it comes? Maybe, maybe not. They got to talk some numbers. You know, also, you know, I plan on doing a little bit more of my own contract work, run my own business. I'm really entrepreneurial minded, so I'm pushing for that. So, uh, black man, it's a lot of jobs out here right now. No matter what they say about COVID, it's not a failure. And if you want to work, you can work. I'm talking about everybody's hiring like crazy. People just don't want to go back to work. I'm talking to my black men. And I'm telling you, masculinity is what I said before. On Ramil's panel, then Angry Man, he's been doing continuous streams on what I said before. Shout out to Angry Man, no shade, ain't trying to steal nothing from him. I actually appreciate that. However he got it, I ain't gonna say that he got it from me. He's a pretty smart brother, very intelligent, very competent. You know, he came to his own conclusion. He has a great platform. I support it. Somebody get the word out there some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You need to vote for Trump. The numbers are better. The jobs are here. It's masculinity. It's patriarchy. Uh, you need to disregard black women. Black men, you need to disregard black women. I mean, you need to just ignore them. They, first of all, they are the ultimate traitor. towards you. They want you to submit to them and be under their rule, you know, and don't be fooled by them saying they still need you for relationships or marriage or families. Don't be fooled by that. They have their own agenda. They have their own code, you know, and they have accused you and put you in bed with oppression of men on women when we have not oppressed nobody. You know, we got oppressed together, then they turn around and say we oppressed them. When we were all getting hung and whipped and all kind of shit. Sprayed with water hoses. So we know the single parent home epidemic. We know the abortion epidemic. Um, we know how they emasculate, shame us. You know, the unreasonable standards and requirements that they have on us, the decline of the black family. We know the state the community is in. But what you got to do, man, is pretty much take a stand. SYSBM, I agree in part. I agree with a lot of stuff they say. I don't agree with everything they say, but SYSBM is the good motherfucker acronym because that's what you need to do. You need to make a vote toward better numbers, better opportunity, better business, and patriarchy and masculinity. Do not mess with that Democratic Party. It is a joke. It is a joke. It is the worst kind of joke, and it's very disrespectful. You know. But let me get on out of here, man. Let me get back to driving this truck. It's your boy Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm out.